Ashcans. If you're a comic book reader, you've probably read some, have a few of yourself, or at the very least seen them at your local comic shop. But do they really have a place in today's comic retail universe? That's what we're here to discuss. Let's get into it. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Before we get into today's topic, just a couple of things. First, if this is the first time you are joining us here at Triangle of Truth, welcome. Hope you have a good time during the video. Along with that, if at any point you enjoy what you see or hear, please feel compelled to hit the like button, hit subscribe, hit the notification bell so that you can be a part of any videos that we have going forward. So with that said, Ashcans, yeah. This whole video basically stems from a conversation that I wasn't even a part of, but Jay had been talking with our good friend Alan Dunford, who you know from Pocus Hocus and Grandma Chainsaw fame. They were just kind of having a discussion about things, and Jay had said something to him about Ashcans. I will say exactly what that was as we get into the video, but it kind of spawned me to sit down and think about Ashcans. And so I just jotted down a few thoughts, like a couple of good, maybe a couple of cons, and then just a couple of thoughts that I have on how they could be used, which stems exactly from what Jay said to Alan. Okay, so yeah, let's start this off on a positive note. So one thing they are good for is helping a publisher gauge interest on an upcoming project. The best example that I can probably give, because these are the most regular Ashcans that we do get, Garrett Gunn, who you all know and love. We are supporters of his Patreon, which if you're a follower of the channel, you see us do the unboxings of what we get from him every month. And oftentimes he does have Ashcans in there. We have several Ashcans for projects. And Garrett is really good about giving you an Ashcan that gets you excited for that project to come out. Now, you might not see the project for, a year, maybe two, because he's got a lot of stuff. But nonetheless, it's there. You're excited. And Garrett, I'm looking at you because I am ready for Blind Justice, man. That is going to be a great book when it comes out. Anyway, moving on. So yeah, that's probably one of the best examples I can think of. There was a Good Boy Ashcan, the Blind Justice one you just heard me mention. He's got Pterosaurus, several others. And it's a great way to drum up interest. Again, it's a teaser, 5-6 pages, but that brings me kind of to a con. The flip side of, yeah, you got 5 or 6 pages to get you really excited is, what if you choose the wrong pages to show in the Ashcan, and it doesn't really give people a really good idea of what to expect. It just maybe bores the person and they don't really have an interest when the book comes out. I can see that happen. I've had it happen several times. So that kind of brings me to a thought in that, does an Ashcan always have to be the beginning of a book? Creators, this is where hopefully any of you that watch this video, you can say something down below if you've done an Ashcan. But does the Ashcan actually have to always be the beginning of a book? Can you choose 5 or 6 pages, either in succession that might be from somewhere in the book that have good exciting parts to get the reader interested, but not completely give away your plot? Or is it even possible to do it? Well, no, I guess skipping around would make sense, because then you would confuse somebody. So I can kind of see that one. So yeah, but is it possible to just pick 5 pages from anywhere in the book that has enough there to get you pulled in, but doesn't give away what you're doing, and it doesn't have to be the intro? So yeah, creators, leave a comment down below and let me know. The other thing that I've seen someone do with an Ashcan is they've used it literally as an issue 0, so to speak, as a prelude to the book coming out, which can be very cool. I will say that there was one time, I will not name the book, but there was an Ashcan that came out that at least to me, almost reminded me nothing of the book when it did come out. So, and I said as much to everybody that knew me. I was like, it's weird because the book was great, but the Ashcan, I was just like, it's so weird how the Ashcan didn't really grab me, but nonetheless I got the book anyway, and the book turned out to be awesome. So that's one of those things where I guess it's just you got to play around with it, just figure out the Ashcan game, for lack of a better term, I guess, and just see what it is. But yeah. So the other thing, I guess, moving along, the other thing that I guess I, as a consumer, have a slight issue with, and this is where I wonder what their place is. Ashcans typically tend to cost as much as a full single issue. Now, naturally, I understand maybe that the price of printing 5 or 6 pages should be less than printing an entire, usually 22 to 30 page full issue comic. So that begs the question sometimes as to, well, why is it? The only thing that I can figure is that sometimes the Ashcan is just an Ashcan. It may be something that if it doesn't do well, they at least have to try to make something back on it, so that if it, you don't get enough interest when the book comes out, or the reviews, I guess, so to speak, aren't good, then at least you weren't completely out of money. Out of the money. Sorry, the very poor way of putting it. But other than that, yeah, sometimes I just wonder if it is worth just, let's go ahead and just print the whole first issue, let's see what happens kind of thing. So again, retailers and publishers, let me know below. So that kind of brings me to the thought that spawned this entire video. Is it worth it for a publisher or creator to throw in free Ashcans to retailers who purchase, like if you're on Kickstarter, if you purchase retailer tiers, is it worth it to throw in, if you've got an Ashcan, to say throw in 15 to 20 copies of an Ashcan for free because they spent however much money to get something from you? If you're a local comic shop that buys something from a publisher in bulk anytime they got a new issue, is it worth it just to throw some Ashcans in with their order so that they can just have them in store and not necessarily have to charge for it? It's just, it's there. You can have it as something at the counter. Hey, this is free. Check it out. Is that something worth it for a publisher or a creator? I think it could be if the situation is right. If the retailer is someone who does enough business with you and that their comics generally sell. Sorry, I said that backwards. If your comics generally sell at their store, I think that's something that could be worth it, to maybe throw in down the road, or something like that. Again, I could be way off. I'm doing this from a very outside perspective as just a consumer and a fan of comics and just a fan of wanting to see new great things come out. So yeah, that's pretty much the big thought that I had, and that's what Jay had said to Alan, was talking about, hey, if somebody buys a retailer issue from, maybe you throw in a couple Ashcans to them for free and whatnot. You don't have to charge them for it. So yeah, again, I wonder if that would be worth it. I think it could be, based on the thoughts I had before. But yeah, that's pretty much all of the thoughts I have. I know it's not a real long video, but it just felt like a really cool discussion that we could have. So be sure to go down in the comments. Let's have a fun, calm, adult discussion. No bashing anybody. Let me know what you think of Ashcans in general. Are you someone that thinks that they just don't serve a purpose at all anymore? Are you a big fan of them? And do you have any other ideas about how they can be used to help further this amazing, fun world that everybody is a part of with comics and manga, just you name it. Anyways, so yeah, that's all I've got for everybody today. As always, please stay safe, stay healthy, and I will catch you next time. Later, everybody.